From our Washington, D.C. studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hena Zuberi. Federal immigration agents have killed a growing number of immigrants since President Donald Trump launched an aggressive nationwide enforcement drive last year. This and more on today's show. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a 3-year extension of expanded health care subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, widely known as Obamacare. Lawmakers approved the measure in a 230 to 196 vote on Thursday. 17 Republicans joined Democrats, giving the bipartisan bill backing. Lawmakers approved the measure in a 230 to 196 vote on Thursday. 17 Republicans joined Democrats, giving the bill bipartisan backing. The subsidies were first expanded during the coronavirus pandemic and helped millions of Americans afford health insurance. The extension would keep those benefits in place for another 3 years. The bill now moves to the Senate, where its future remains uncertain. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries called the vote a decisive win for the American people. He said the House acted quickly in the first full week of the new year to protect health care access. Jeffries is urging Senate Republican leader John Thune to immediately bring the bill up for a vote, warning that delays could put Americans' health and safety at risk. Protesters marched to the White House on Thursday night to protest the deadly shooting of a woman in Minneapolis by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE agent. The incident has triggered fresh anger over ICE operations. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered at the U.S. Capitol after the killing of 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good on Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security claims Good tried to hit officers with her vehicle and that the ICE agent fired in self-defense. Local leaders dispute that account. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says that he reviewed video of the incident and rejected claims that the shooting was justified. He's calling it a reckless use of force and is demanding federal immigration agents leave the city. The case has intensified national security of ICE tactics and accountability. According to new data by the gun violence nonprofit The Trace, President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown has led to 14 shootings involving immigration agents in recent months. Since July, agents have killed 4 people and wounded at least 5 others during enforcement operations. As mentioned, federal immigration agents have killed a growing number of immigrants since President Donald Trump launched an aggressive nationwide enforcement drive last year. According to new data by the gun violence nonprofit The Trace, Trump's crackdown has led to 14 shootings involving immigration agents in recent months. Since July, agents have killed more than 4 people and wounded at least 5 others during enforcement operations. The data shows 28 use-of-force incidents overall, including cases where agents pointed guns at civilians. The Trace warns that the real toll might be higher because shootings by immigration agents are not consistently made public. Beyond firearms, agents also use less lethal weapons in 13 cases, including rubber bullets and pepper balls. Most occurred during protests. 2 pastors were injured while leading prayers in California and Illinois. The latest fatal shooting happened this week in Minneapolis during a major immigration sweep. Democratic lawmaker Ilhan Omar says that the woman killed was observing immigration activity. The Department of Homeland Security says about 2,000 agents have been deployed in Minneapolis as part of the operation. At the same time, immigration detention has surged. More than 65,000 people are being held in custody, nearly 50% more than a year ago. Rights groups say overcrowding, harsh conditions, and escalating enforcement has made 2025 the deadliest year for immigration custody in more than 20 years. President Donald Trump says major oil companies are preparing to invest at least $100 billion in Venezuela as Washington moves to take control of the country's oil sector. Speaking ahead of a White House meeting with energy executives, Trump said that the top 14 oil companies are ready to rebuild Venezuela's collapsed oil infrastructure. He said the country's energy system could be overhauled from the ground up. Trump also claimed that Venezuela is incapable of holding elections and said rebuilding the oil sector would come first, following by a return to democratic polls. The comments came almost a week after a violent U.S. military operation that captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores, leading to at least 75 people being killed in Venezuela's capital, Caracas. The move has been met with worldwide outrage and condemnation, with a number of experts calling it a violation of Venezuela's sovereignty. Trump said that the United States would run Venezuela and its oil assets during a transition period. He also said opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize laureate and a Zionist, is expected in Washington next week. Two longtime IRS colleagues say they have been left without income for months after retiring. Karen Aitchison served the IRS for 41 years. Tracy Hena spent more than 37 years in federal service. Both opted into the government's deferred resignation program last year as the Trump administration pushed to shrink the federal workforce. They formally retired on September the 30th after submitting all required paperwork. They expected retirement checks within weeks. Instead, nothing arrived. That includes monthly annuities and payments for unused annual leave. Aitchison said that she was expecting about $6,000 a month and Hena anticipated more than $7,000. While waiting, Hena is relying on her small business. Aitchison is borrowing money and getting help from family. The IRS says delays are due to an unusually high number of retirements. The Office of Personnel Management reports about 29,000 retirement applications are still pending with no firm timeline for payment. Texas A&M University is making last-minute changes to nearly 200 courses after new rules restricting the teaching of race and gender was approved. Faculty at the flagship campus in College Station was told this week that classes could be altered, reassigned, or stripped of core status. Some courses have already been canceled, renumbered, or rewritten after students registered. The move follows a November policy approved by the Texas A&M System Board of Regents requiring administrative approval for courses seen as promoting what it calls race or gender ideology. Emails show that professors were told to remove material on race, gender identity, or sexual orientation, or face reassignment. An introductory sociology course was canceled outright, and a communications course was removed from the core curriculum. Philosophy professor Martin Peterson was told to cut modules on race and gender or stop teaching a core class. Faculty may seek exemptions, but decisions are pending. The American Association of University Professors and the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression have criticized the policy. Utah Democrats are condemning racist and Islamophobic attacks targeting a new congressional candidate. Details coming up next.
My name is Layla. I was an average kid until Zula Inc. broke into my life because my dad discovered time travel. After that, everything changed.
You're the new girl Layla, right?
Whoa! What if I don't fit in?
Abdullah!
Do I hear my name? Welcome to Vancouver, cuz.
Whoa!
You four have been specially chosen to take our project into the next generation.
You can time travel?
Abdullah! No! Abdullah! Where?
Do you really think I don't know why we had to leave Seattle, Baba?
Now here, keep these close. These should never leave your wrist.
This virtual reality game is crazy. You can even eat. This is reality, buddy. We zoomed through a wormhole.
Oh no, my Go Watch! It's gone!
What does this do?
That's Al-Khwarizmi. You know, the father of mathematics. It's because of him we have algorithms.
I will not stop until your legacy, everyone's legacy, lies in ruins. Of course it was you. You little rascals ruined everything.
Your fate will be great. Just don't give up.
Time hoppers.
Hamtramck, Michigan has renamed a street to honor former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. Observers say this reflects the growing influence of Bangladeshi immigrants in local politics. The city of Hamtramck has changed Carpenter Street to Khaleda Zia Street after the proposal was approved by the city council. Zia, who was Bangladesh's first woman prime minister and served 3 terms, died on December 30th in the country's capital, Dhaka. Hamtramck became the United States' first Muslim-majority city in 2013 and by 2022, the first with an all-Muslim city council. 4 current councillors are of Bangladeshi origin, and their support helped secure the renaming. Once known as Little Warsaw for its Polish roots, Hamtramck has been reshaped by decades of immigration from Yemen and Bangladesh. Today, more than 40% of residents are foreign-born, and Muslim communities play a central role in civic life. City officials say that the street name reflects the city's evolving identity, much as earlier immigrant groups once left their own mark on Hamtramck's map. Utah Democrats are condemning racist and Islamophobic attacks targeting a new congressional candidate. Liban Mohammed, a Utah-born Democrat and the son of Somali immigrants, announced his run for Congress this week. Soon after, his campaign video drew millions of views online and a wave of racist comments. The Utah Democratic Party said the abuse was disgusting and accused Republicans of resorting to bigotry instead of debating ideas. In his video, Mohammed praised Utahns for leading the nation in charitable giving. He said voters deserve leaders who show the same care and service. Republican state lawmaker Trevor Lee responded online by calling for deportations and the rollback of benefits for migrants. Lee later claimed his remarks reflected concerns about immigration policy. Other online posts called for Mohammed's deportation despite the fact that he was born in the U.S. Democratic candidates, including former Congressman Ben McAdams, announced the attacks as unacceptable and undemocratic. Mohammed said that the backlash also revealed an opportunity to show Utah's values of inclusion and identity. Israeli soldiers killed 9 Palestinians, including 2 young siblings, on Thursday in strikes across Gaza, as Israel's violation of the October 10th Israel-Hamas ceasefire continue. In southern Gaza, the region's civil defense says a strike hit a displacement tent in Al-Mawasi near Khan Yunis, killing 3. Nasser Hospital later received the bodies of a woman and 2 children. The Palestinian Red Crescent says that the death toll there rose to 4. The attack took place despite Israel designating Al-Mawasi a safe zone for civilians. In northern Gaza, Israeli soldiers killed a young man and wounded 8 others, including children, in a drone strike that hit a school sheltering displaced families in Jabalia refugee camp. Additional injuries were reported when Israel hit another shelter in Beth Lahiyah. Separate Israeli drone strikes killed Palestinians near Diyar al-Bala and again in Al-Mawasi. Israel's gunfire also wounded a man in Gaza City. Healthcare officials say Israel has killed more than 71,400 Palestinians in its genocide in Gaza since October 2023, and the killing has not stopped. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire in October, Israel continues to kill 424 more Palestinians. The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, will begin hearings in the Rohingya genocide case from Monday. Experts say this is a key step towards legal accountability for alleged atrocities in Burma. The case was filed in 2019 by the Gambia under the Genocide Convention. It accuses Burma of committing genocide acts against the Rohingya community since 2016. In 2020, the court entered provisional measures redirecting Burma to prevent killings, sexual violence, and destruction of evidence. Rights groups say abuses have continued despite those orders. The court must move now and decide whether the acts were carried out with the intent to destroy a protected group in whole or in part. The Rohingya, a Muslim minority mainly from Rakhine State, have faced decades of persecution. Approximately 750,000 fled during military operations beginning in 2016. Analysts say that the case could set an important precedent and affect a separate genocide case brought by South Africa against Israel that is also pending before the court. An 18-year-old engineering student in Canada is taking on homelessness with a hands-on approach. Rabia Zebian from London, Ontario, has designed a modular tiny home system aimed at helping the city's estimated 1,800 unhoused residents. Zebian has already drawn attention for earlier engineering projects, including a child-scale electric model car he donated to a museum. Using precision fiberglass molding, Zebian has developed insulated panels with built-in utility cavities. The panels can be quickly replicated and assembled into shelters of different sizes. Insulated PET plastic core in the ceiling are designed to withstand harsh weather year-round. Starting in May, the Western University student plans to live in the prototype for a full year to test its limits. Housing advocate Gary Brown says tiny homes are not a complete fix, but can play a meaningful role in addressing homelessness. A Japanese artist who converted to Islam is creating striking works that blend Seljuk geometry with Japanese design. Shuli Shinku Shirkawa moved from Tokyo to Istanbul, Turkey after embracing Islam. She now studies traditional Turkish arts at Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University and works with lecturer Murad Upar on detailed micro art. Using fine engraving techniques, Shirakawa applies Seljuk geometric patterns and Japanese motifs to objects such as fountain pens. Her work brings together clean Japanese lines and the Seljuk idea of infinite order. The 27-year-old calls her move to Turkey a turning point. She says traditional Turkish craftsmanship, patience, and elegance guide her art. Shirakawa says her interest deepened after visiting the Tokyo Mosque and the Turkish Cultural Center. That experience led her to study Turkish Islamic art and learn the language. She's now preparing an exhibition highlighting Turkish-Japanese friendship. Her planned works include mosque depictions, particularly the Sultan Ahmed Mosque and Hagia Sophia. Shirakawa says she hopes to live in Istanbul long term and continue sharing Islamic art across cultures. That's all from our Washington, D.C. studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicating to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content on YouTube. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. Please donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum.